This isn't a male loneliness epidemic. This is a skills gap.
Justin saying men don't ask hard emotional questions of their friends.
Sorry, I apologize. No, this is not Caller Daddy. This is Triple J the Hookup. I looked that up, by the way, on Instagram. I'll let this run.
They're afraid to, or they don't know how to. Patty again saying, in my opinion, guys aren't very good at checking in with each other or follow-up questions. It's a lack of social skills.
And I really love this framing. And this was actually something that Pip and I saw on Vulgar Drawings.
Shout out Vulgar Drawings. Yeah, we love you.
We've had her on the pod before. And she spoke about this as being a skills gap. She said, here's the problem. When people use the phrase male loneliness epidemic, it feels tonally wrong, right? It's because
catch that. Like, listen to the language in this. Okay. All right. Put me up in there. Check the language out in here. It feels like this. It feels. No, it's not feels. That's the thing that kills me about this kind of shit. And let me back it up just a touch here.
Vulgar Drawings.
Shout out Vulgar Drawings. Social skill. Opinion, guys aren't very good at checking in with each other or follow-up questions.
Because guys don't check in with each other. Because they don't. You know why? Because we process emotions differently than you. Stop making it about fucking you. Men are not women. The blank slate is a lie. We are not the fucking same. We do not emote the same way. We do not you know what's funny is like, I have been on, I do this with pretty much all my guy friends. I do this with Mike all the time. I do this with like Jake. I do this with you actually. It's like, if I call you up and I'm like, hey man, are we good for the show? Yeah, we're good. Okay, cool.
That's it.
Click.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, is that how you hang up on? I'm like, yeah, we just, business done.
Yeah.
You know? Same thing with Mike. Mike's okay. Well, I can seriously have like a half an hour conversation with Mike. And we'll talk about some good shit too. I mean, we'll talk about like the latest, like if I throw an article at him or say, hey, we should probably bring this up on the show. This is some good topics. Let's do this. Let's make sure we put this in the notes for the show and everything like that. And I'll do this whole, like, we'll have this conversation and like, okay, we good? Yeah. Okay. That's it. That's all. There's no, how are you doing? How are the kids?
Bro, look, you didn't even text me this morning. You didn't even need to check.
I didn't check. Oh, I did ask you on Friday, I think, are we good? But because you were out last week. But like normally, I just showed up. I knew he was going to be here, you know? And it's like, we don't do that shit. We don't have to do that shit. We're guys, okay? We don't operate like you. We don't. Kyle, as long as I've known you, have I ever said, Kyle, let's go to Starbs and catch up?
Never.
Like me looking at you right now is like as close as we get to like having a conversation, for fuck's sake. You know, it's like men communicate different. Just because we don't communicate like you doesn't mean we don't have feelings. Doesn't mean we should have cried at the end of fucking Titanic. We're not emotional retards. Okay? We just don't process emotions, especially negative emotions, the same way you do. And I can prove that today. I've got so many fucking links to so many different stories, to so many different research, data sets and experiments and all this other shit that will basically show you that men and women are different. We are different down to the cellular level. Our brains are not wired the same way. We are not we put rationality and unconditioned. We put rationality and reason and empiricism before we put emotion into it. Not that we don't, we do, but we figure shit out before we figure out how we felt about it. Women figure out how they felt about it and they go, well, we better fucking do something to solve the problem, if they even get that far. Because remember that, was it that comedy skit? Was it, It's Not About the Nail?
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about that on Access Vegas last Wednesday. If you didn't see it, it was a good show. Kept me busy though. But no, it's not about the nail. Like it's the reason why that skit's funny with the guy who's like trying to solve the woman's problems. Like she's just like, I've got this pain in my head and I don't know what's going on. It's just right here. And she turns and like there's a nail in her head. And the guy's like, well, I bet if we took that nail out of your head. And she's like, it's not about the nail. Like, I mean, like pissed off, right? And the reason why is because you pull the nail and solve the problem, and then there's nothing left to talk about. Because that's what men do. We are deductive problem solvers. We don't talk about our feelings. We don't have to talk about our feelings. We go and we talk about the information first. That's how men converse. It is blunt. It is ugly. It's apes going, yep, That's all it is. Okay. It's Scooby-Doo. That's what it is. Okay. And then once we get there, you good? You good? Okay, bye. That's all it is. It's two cavemen fucking talking to each other. You know who you want, you know who you expect to embody this shit is those same guys who were talking about the guy who wants to pull the comedian with the long hair wants to pull great hair, by the way, wants to pull the guy off and go, who hurt you? You know who says who hurt you? Women say who hurt you. Why? Because it's an emotional reframe. I was talking about that on last week's show. You have these rational, empirical, hard-hitting, informational, data-driven, statistic-driven conversations. And when you run out of gas, who hurt you? Because you can't converse in that language anymore. So you default to your native language. What is that? Emotionalism. And the language of empiricism sounds a lot like hate to the language of emotionalism. And when you don't understand that, that's when you start shaming people for shit like this.
Lack of social skills.
And I really love this framing. And this was actually something that people
It's not a lack of social skills. It's a lack of hardware.
and I saw on Vulgar Drawings who
shout out Vulgar Drawings.
Yeah.
We love you.
We've had her on the pod before, and she spoke about this as being a skills gap. She said, here's the problem. When people use the phrase male loneliness epidemic, it feels tonally wrong, right? It's because it's passive.
Feels tonally wrong.
Here's the
Tonally.
problem.
So if we change the tone, it would come out different, right? No, the information is the same fucking information, whether I yell it at you or I go, oh, it's the same information. Oh, I'm feeling a little bit more sensitive today. So let's get in the trust nest and talk about our feelings, right? No one's doing that. Guys don't do that. But like, generally speaking, men don't do that. I'm sorry if that's tonally wrong. It's not tonally wrong. The data is still the fucking data. You can call it whatever you want to.
AKA, it implies it's happening to men without them having any involvement in it whatsoever. I think instead it should be called the skills gap. Men are victims of the patriarchy too. They haven't been taught to value emotional skins like women have.
Okay. Haven't been taught to value emotional skills like women have. No, wrong. Wait, there it is.
No, you're wrong.
You're wrong. Men don't have the same hardware as women. Men don't have that same propensity, that proclivity. You know what's funny is I can throw a ball or a rock or whatever way more accurate and with more force by doing that because I'm a guy and that's a natural proclivity. Your natural proclivity is to emote. It's emotionalism. And there's nothing, by the way, nothing wrong with that. But like at the very least, find that distinction that men here, woman here. Okay. Emotional, not so emotional. Okay. It's not a skills gap. It's not because the patriarchy. It's not because they weren't taught shit. Women weren't taught to be more emotional. They were born that way. That's the operative. That's that's their operating system. That's their evolved evolutionary firmware that's already there. And because men don't have it, there's something wrong with them. They weren't taught. They missed that day in school.
Hey, Rolo, I'm gonna cheat on her. That's skill gap.
Yeah, that's
there.
skill gap.
That's
Yes, skill gap. I'm
Yeah.
going to cheat on her.
Yeah, skill gap. Get skill gap right there.
Yes. Because that's totally wrong. Tonally. What you said?
Skill gap.
Immaterial. It was tonally wrong. If you say that differently, Kyle, say it in a different tone of voice, because then maybe we'll want to listen because you weren't taught. You missed that day in school, an emotional day in school. You missed that. You just weren't taught that well enough. You missed that fucking homework assignment, didn't you, Kyle?
Emotional skills like women have, nor have they been taught the importance of building friendships and community.
So are you telling me that men, by this logic, are you telling me that men would be more perfected men if they were more like women? The more like a woman, the more a guy identifies with a female, the more the guy identifies with the feminine. He's in touch with his masculine, or is in touch with his feminine side. He's emotionally expressive. He cries on demand and whatever else. As that's a more perfected male. And he just simply missed that fucking day at school. because society was inept. Society, the social constructionism will be the end of your fucking mindset, will be the end of your fucking ideology, ladies. Because at some point, like I'm saying this now, so guess what? Some smart motherfucker is going to be beyond the gate and go, oh, emotionalism, rationalism, social constructionism, the blank slate. Yeah, let's bring that over here. And some very popular, more popular than Rollo, TradCon, or I don't know, Evo Psych guy, or some experimental researcher is going to say that on Joe Rogan and go, this is fascinating. I've never heard this before in my life.
This is a breakthrough.
Where Rollo said it in 2020. Actually, I said it way before this, but Rollo said it in 2025. It's now 2030. This is great. This is novel shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Retro.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Opportunities like women have. And I just think that's such a great way to phrase it. It's like, this isn't a male loneliness epidemic. This is a skills gap.
So once again, your fault. It's your fault for not developing those. Go to therapy. How come you're not going to therapy?